Hello all and welcome to a Soulshine conversation. I am your host, Mr. Soulshine. I am so excited to be back today to talk to you guys. I've got some fresh faces in the place and so excited to introduce them. But before I do, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the little button that's on the side there. It'll keep you updated with all the fun Soulshine information. And a big shout out to the T Academy. We'll put their link down in the comment section for this wonderful t-shirt they gave me. I am Black History. Really excited for them. So without further ado, I want to introduce my fresh faces. This is the married couples edition. I am so excited. Listen, I'm not married. I got my tablet ready because I'm taking some notes. And I'll take notes for you guys as well. So, hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome. It's an intimate group. I'm excited. Yes, we got some tenure on this side. We got some newbie love on this side. I'm excited. And listen, I know these folks, but I don't know them intimately as a married couple. So I'm excited to talk to them. So typically what you guys may or may not know from being on this show or watching this show, I love a little backstory or research. So I want to give you guys a little bit of that. And I'm going to ask a question, and then we're going to go from there, which is really, really great. So listen, we're in a relationship series. And so, our first episode, we talked about how long do you wait before you get married, whether it's 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. We talked about how many dates do you need to go on before you say you're the one for me. And we had a married couple in the audience, or that was in our panel, and they were like, 6 date is not the thing. So they had a whole different perspective. We've talked about how your parents, your raising, how that influences your relationships, whether intimate or platonic. And then lastly, we talked about, are you ready to be a husband or a wife? And so I think, what a fitting way to kind of wrap up that series than to talk to the actual married couples.
There you go.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like there might be a 2.0 happening, we'll see. But I have my general question for you guys, but I also put this on my social media and a lot of people have questions for you. They want to know. What's going on? They want to know. The people want to know. They want to know.
Sure you want to know.
Exactly. So they want the people. I'm telling you, they wanted to come today, and I said, just hold on. Let me talk to them first. Don't scare them. So I found this online. This is from a little bit of a religious standpoint. So it talked about 5 reasons why marriage is so important. So I only want to read just a couple. The first one says the union mirrors the relationship between God and His church. It talks about 2 becoming 1. And the last one says the bond of marriage gives the support to defeat temptation by engaging in deep, satisfying love. So that's something I might want to get into. But before we get there, tell me, why did you guys get married?
Wow.
That's a great question.
I tried. I did my homework.
You want to go first?
No.
All right, why did I get married? Well, everybody out there, you guys. The reason why I got married to this woman, because I was out in the world, just fooling around, doing foolish stuff, as typical men do. I can't speak for everybody, but I speak for myself. I met this young lady right here, and she just opened my eyes to different things, different doors, different. Showing me that there are good women out there. You know what I mean? I didn't think there were at first until I met her. She just taking us all in right now. But it's the honest truth, and at that point in my life, I think I was ready for it. I mean, I was scared. Just scared beyond belief because I didn't want to mess up or succumb to temptation. But I found her and I know I don't want to lose her. So I just figured I'd give it a shot and we're still here 2 years later.
Yes. And you guys have been together how long? You've been married for 2.5 years.
Married 2.5 years.
All right, newlyweds.
Yeah. And we'll be together 8 years April 1st. April Fool's Day is our anniversary.
Yeah, we actually called it she actually was a blind date.
Yeah, we were a blind date.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
She was a blind date and I met her and
No. Tell the real story.
Well, when I was out and about doing my thing, I had a little guys night, I guess, at my house, a little bachelor pad. And one of my friends asked me, was I dating anybody? I was like, no, I'm not dating anybody. And then he showed me her picture. I said, all right, she's cute, she's cool.
But she's black.
Kyra. We had to put that in the mix.
Wait a minute.
But it's the truth. are we telling the truth or not?
No, this is raw and real.
I was his first black girlfriend.
Come on now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
Well,
what
look,
you.
I was gonna tell him, I didn't know any better.
That's all right.
Yes.
This t-shirt now.
Come on, that's right. You damn can wear the t-shirt. Right?
You can wear the t-shirt.
I know what at the end of the day, but the whole point was, like I said, it was a blind date, and like I said, like I told her when I went to her door, thank God she answered the door. She was cute, but she was ugly. I would have said wrong door. I would have said wrong door. But like I said, like me and her actually clicked that same night. Like we just like watched movies, like
We watched the Boondocks.
the Boondocks. We laughed all day.
And
Like, I cooked for her.
Yeah.
Come on, Chef Jay.
Yeah,
That's
I came
right.
through. Well, at that time, I was just it was a little something. It wasn't like fully,
Yeah, it was
full
eggs.
blown, like, chef
That's
food.
a little taste.
Yeah,
Little things. I mean, it's like, and the thing is, like, ever since then, I guess, like, me and her just clicked, and like we're more friends first than
Yeah.
anything.
Yes.
Like, we laugh about everything, like we talk about a lot of stuff, so, like.
I noticed that with you guys, just being at parties with you guys and observing you, you guys definitely have a great you can tell there's a friendship. Like, you
Yeah.
always laughing and joking.
Yeah.
It's really-
Right.
I think that's like times when we've had hard times in our marriage. The fact that we are best friends, it actually saved our marriage because we didn't want to lose our best friend.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, right, so think about that, you guys. Anybody out
Yeah.
there?
I'm gonna come back to that. So
Yeah.
let me hear from these ladies from Karen and Chris. So why did you get married? And how long have you been married? Because you got the tenure. You got the tenure over here. Yes, come on, amen. Praise is next. Oh.
You want me to go?
Oh.
Okay. So we've been married 14 years. We'll be 15 in August.
Come on, tenure.
Yeah.
Come on.
For me, there's a lot of controversy around
No, why did you?
why?
He said, why
Why did we get married?
Why did you get married? Why did you choose
But tell me about the controversy a little bit.
I'm like, wait a minute.
But why did you get married? Yes.
I got married because again, I was kind of similar to my brother over here, just tired of, running around. And after I got out of my last relationship that I was with, I pretty much told the Lord that, listen, the next person I'm in a relationship with, I want to be my wife. And I told him to reveal it, and he did. And that's the only thing that I can
That
say.
guy revealing.
You better come
Yeah.
through with that.
I'm gonna be honest.
Revealing this beauty. Tell me why you got married.
I got married because he came into my life and proposed. I never thought I would get married. Even my friends were shocked. They didn't believe me when I told them I was engaged because that wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah.
I had missions and goals and I was just thinking about life and I wasn't like married at 30. Some women have like a timeline.
Mhm.
I just wanted to live life and it really happened organically. I got married because God brought him to me. There was no extra fluff about it. I didn't have marriage on my agenda and he showed up.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
almost 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years later, still
Yes.
going strong.
Yeah.
So you guys mentioned something, and again, see, I have my question, but we're gonna just go organically. So you mentioned something about even through the tough times, that being friends, right, has sustained you.
It has saved.
It's
Saved
saved us.
yes.
It
It's
has
like,
saved us.
yeah, because the whole transition from going from being boyfriend and girlfriend to being married is,
It's
I
tough.
don't know what it
It's tough.
is. It's just something that clicks in your body or your mind, or I don't know what it is, but something changes. And like everything is way more intense.
It's true. I mean, even on my wedding day, everyone knows me. I'm very loud. I'm bustling with energy and everything. And on my wedding day, I was very quiet. They're like, "Why aren't you talking?" He would say, "You don't want to make a speech?" I said, "No." And everybody's like, "What's wrong with you? You're an actor. You're in a film." Like, and I'm like, "This is my real life.
Yes,
Right.
like, this is real
This
life.
is real. This is serious.
Yes.
Like, this changes everything. You know." So
Absolutely.
I was just very, very subdued, and like Jay said, once you're married, it's like something just clicks and everything is just more intense. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm done with you."
Yeah.
You can't.
I mean,
just
some
say
people
those
do.
things.
Yeah, they do.
Right? I'm just
No, it's the truth.
some people do.
Yeah.
Because I think that, I just read something that talked about, of course, there's a million Instagram memes that are, prophetic words. But the one talked about, being in love with the wedding versus the marriage.
Yes.
One thing that a lot of people
Right.
are in love with the idea of being in
Right.
love, but necessarily don't want to do the work that
They
goes
don't wanna do the
after
work.
day
Right.
two,
It's a lot of
right?
work, man.
You
A lot of
know,
work.
and there were times that I wanted to quit. There were times
I
that
wanted to quit.
he wanted to quit, and I was like, I can't lose my best friend. I can't lose my best friend. I was like, I can't picture him not in my life,
Mhm.
and those are the things that have saved us.
So we have kind of a little different way, which is, it works for some, doesn't work for others, but we really became friends within our marriage.
Mhm.
Our engagement and our marriage was very quick. We met in, what?
March 9th, 2000.
We met in March, we were engaged in December,
Wow.
and married the next August. So we
Oh.
really, I didn't have time
Right.
for him to become my ultimate best friend. I still had my sister was my best friend, and my cousin was my best friend. And we grew that within our marriage. And one of the things that I think made it a little more difficult in the beginning of our marriage is because there were a lot of things that we didn't learn friend-wise. Like, I
Gotcha.
didn't know him as, a lot of things about him as a person. To get to know him as that friend, to be somebody he felt like he could confide in and vice versa. I think we, still were holding things in, still would go tell our friends stuff before we told each other.
Right.
We had, we were still figuring it out because we didn't build that first. And so it's like kind of the opposite. And we still were fighting in our marriage though, but it was a different fight.
Gotcha.
We were learning each other versus, so we were learning each other and marriage at the same time.
Wow.
That was
So,
difficult.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
You just smiling.
It's gonna be okay, babe. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna get through this.
Really, if it wasn't for God, honestly, we would not have made it.
And strong friends,
Absolutely.
and family
Absolutely.
around.
Who've done it?
Without,
Yeah, who's married.
again, I think the Lord is the one that holds it together. But I think it's it really was our family and our friends who gave us the encouragement to continue to keep going on. I remember there was one time that we had a situation, I think it was right after we came back from the honeymoon. We, were looking at dissolving after we got back from the honeymoon.
Legit.
Seriously.
Legit.
Yeah.
Well, let me say my question about the honeymoon phase.
Oh yeah, we ain't got no honeymoon phase either.
Yeah, it was like real life instantly.
It was
Instantly,
real life
it was real life.
instantly, and again, one of the things that my brother said to me was that, have you done, and this will be something that, again, anybody who's in marriage or struggling with your marriage, and an encouragement to you guys is, have you done everything that you possibly can to save it and or to work on it? And that was one of the things that was very, 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 touching to me. And I began to start working, and here we are, almost 15 years.
Look at all good.
Yeah.
All right. With the glow.
Right? I love it.
15-year-old glow.
So I want to ask something based on what you said, Chris.
Yeah.
This is a question, of course, for all of you guys. So you talked about, having talked to other married couples, families, so on and so on. How do you guys feel about sharing, though, your marital woes and tough times with people outside of your marriage? Because I've heard, again, I'm not married, but I got my news. People say you shouldn't talk to them outside your marriage. If you have a problem with your spouse, then that's the person that you need to talk to. Don't run and talk to X, Y, and Z because that's dangerous. What is your thoughts?
So my take on
What are
it
your
is I don't have too many people I can talk to. I refuse to talk to my family members because I don't want them judging her. I never want to put them in a situation. As far as my friends, they know her too. And the thing is, I don't want them to let her side or whatever the case may be. So I keep it in. So if I have something going wrong, I think that's my problem. I hold everything in, and then whenever me and her get in a situation, it comes out. We'll have an argument about something else, and then that comes in to play too. You know what I mean? Because I have nobody to talk to about it. And I think as far as the black community, I'm just speaking on myself, I guess. Like,
Please speak about it.
we feel as though like we can't, I guess, like go to therapy or like talk to people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
it feels like it's,
Absolutely.
I feel as though it's like a weakness.
Absolutely.
Like, and like I don't want no weaknesses. So I guess with my partner, like I want
Yeah.
everything to be strong, but like that's just not.
That's not
That's
real life.
reality.
Real life.
It's not
Yeah.
reality. Yes.
Yeah.
So like I had to learn how. I mean, as I'm going to do, you know, because like it's never like I was never taught. I guess like how to be married because my dad died at such a young age, so I never had the opportunity for a man or somebody to teach me like how to be married, how to do this, how to do that. I don't know. I'm just going as I'm going because I love her and I care for her. You know what I mean? But I'm still learning how to open up and do things like that. Now with her, she can speak on her behalf, but on my behalf,
I
I
do.
hold everything in.
I don't speak to my family about Jay at all, especially because the women in my family have big mouths, and you'll say something to one person, next thing you know, I'm all like, you telling me such and such business, then you gonna be telling my business
Listen,
such
that's real
and
life.
such. So I don't, but I do speak to my close best friend Daniel, who is actually my man of honor in my wedding, and he's close to me, and he's also close to Jay, and I speak to him because he never takes sides.
He's very neutral.
And Jay has actually confided in him sometimes with when things on his end. So I do speak to him because I have to talk to somebody. And if I don't, I'll hold it in and it'll just, you know, over something so dumb, I'll just explode. So I do, but that's the only person that I speak to about my marriage.
I would say you have to choose
Yeah.
wisely.
Yeah.
You have to find and agree on who you are going to allow your information to be flowed through. Because it's very important. The Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. So it's very important to cover your spouse. So you don't want to expose them because we've both been reckless in that area. We haven't been perfect. You know, as soon as something happened, especially early on in our marriage, he had a group of guys and I had a group of women who were all married and we were all ministers and ministers' wives together. And, you know, sometimes that confiding, you know, could turn into gossiping and cackling. And then they side eyeing my husband and then vice versa. You know, he's saying things and they looking at me like Karen, you know. So we grew and we learned throughout our marriage that there were certain people. We began to tighten that. Real quick. So we, you know, my sister and my brother who are married, we're very close to them. You know, his parents who are very wise in their years and in their marriage and really see things from a neutral perspective. Although times he felt as though because they do love me.
That's what I'm saying.
So they may bend a little bit. You know, but just finding those wise married couples that you agree with each other that it's okay to give that information to, but it's very small, very tight. You stay off of social media with your business.
Yes.
You don't post when you're mad at your husband or your wife. You don't post it on social media.
People wear me out with that.
Even through our entire marriage, we've never done that.
Right.
That's just something we just, you know, that is an important place. Your marriage is a place too. It's a sanctuary. It's a place where you're building something. And if the foundation is weak or if the bricks you're laying on it is weak, it's going to topple. So it's a place too. And so we hold that place sacred now. We've learned it. So it was a learned behavior. So you're not going to always get it right.
Correct.
You know, you're not. And we didn't. But we learned to now choose and keep it very small and tight.
I love that you talked. First of all, thank you guys so much. I love it, and I love that you talked about the social media perspective because that's my second question. But I shared a story. I think I shared. I'm sure I shared it on one of our episodes around. This is someone who I do not know, but is part of my travel group, which expands literally the entire the whole planet. And so she had talked about they were, I guess, in their later 30s, trying to have a baby, so forth and so on. But like, she didn't want to have a baby, and her husband did. It was whole, but like, I don't know the woman from Canada, but she literally put this whole story on social media.
No.
And then people were like chiming in, and a couple people were like, "Man, I don't think this is something we said on the thing." And then she was posting like text. I mean, when I tell you that she I said, "Oh my God!" And I said, "I was like, I don't know if this is something you should be posting on social media. So let me log off, so that I don't see what's going on." Right. But this is what happened. So that's a good segue into my question now. So how important is someone's social media activity to your peace of mind?
So talking about social media
Mhm.
and piggyback on what you said, how you have friends and family that would actually help with your marriage. We actually had family and some friend who I don't consider them friends
Okay.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They would say, "Oh, well, how come Kyra doesn't post you on social media? What's wrong in your marriage?" Not realizing that my
Yeah, he's looking
Instagram,
like
right,
that. Yep.
I'm a producer, I'm an actor. Like my Instagram page is my business page. So there's only maybe 10% that's personal, and the rest is my business. What am I doing? What am I shooting? You know?
Correct.
Social media has nothing to do with my marriage. I know couples
Correct.
that post like crazy on social media about how much they love each other and this and that. And all social media, all they do is bicker about each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then they try to get in his ear,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, oh, what are y'all doing? Like, why are y'all trying to break what we have? What we have is good. I don't need to blast that on social media. I don't need to announce every single day,
Well, it's
every
Facebook
week.
official, right?
Right.
They say,
That, oh, I
it's
love
Facebook.
my husband. He's great. He's that. Like, I don't need, that's not for y'all. What I have here is what I have here. And y'all don't need to be up in this.
Mhm.
And that's how I feel.
That's how like, as far as like a man perspective, like this, like, people ask me all the time, like, you know, like they would say little things because, you know, like, Kyra, like she posts, she does her thing on social media. Like that's just not me. That's not my feel. I might post here and there. Rarely do it. I just have it just to have my
Yeah,
friends.
you're not posting a lot. I've been on your
I
page.
don't
It's like-
post anything like that's just not me. I guess I'm more old school. Like I said, I respect what she does, her space. Right? That's cool, but like I do have people in my ear chiming at me, saying this, saying that. You know, to try to get a little rise out of me to see like what I'm thinking. Like I just
It's
deflect
sad.
it.
It's
I just
sad.
deflect it. It's like I mean, like, and that's the thing I think about. Like speaking on your mom and dad, because like they've been together for so long. Back then they didn't have that problem as we had
Absolutely.
now.
Right.
Yeah, like now all this like mentions like somebody being in your business, like everything's pretty much kept confined in the household.
Yep.
Now everybody's in the household because of social media.
Yep.
So no matter what,
Yep.
which way you go, somebody's always in business saying, well, why she doing this? Or why she traveling here?
Mhm.
Or why she posting with this
That's-
person?
Yep.
Does she have something on with this guy? Because she's that guy's this picture with her. Like they try to make little things
Mhm.
Yeah.
seem like it's something
Yep.
real big, which is really not.
Right.
Yeah.
Because see, in the film industry is male dominated.
Yeah.
You know, I work with a lot of men in the film industry. That's just how it is. And they'll just say in his ear, like, you know, one time someone said, "Oh, she's on a crew of all men. What's she going to do? What is she going to be doing with all those men?"
Right.
I'm operating a camera. I'm producing a film. Like, what, you know, and it's just crazy when
I
they
can't work
say,
here hard.
right, or they'll say, "Why is she always traveling? Why does she go to? Why is she going in school? Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? Why did she quit her job?" Because I had a corporate job. I asked my husband, "Can I leave my job? I want to pursue my dream as a producer. I'm doing really well." He said, "I'm gonna give you 90 days." You know,
That's
and
excellent.
right. So I gave 90 days notice to my corporate job. Everybody, how y'all gonna pay your bills? How dare you let Kyra quit her job? And it was just crazy.
This is all news for me. This is-
Yeah, and the thing is that I didn't even announce to anybody that before my 90 days was up, I actually got hired at a production company as a full-time producer. You know, because it wasn't y'all business.
Right.
But yet they were out there trashing me to my husband.
Because people watch your social media posts so close, they can line the story up. Wait, she was.
Yup.
Then she was supposed to be at her job.
Yup.
She don't have a job.
Yup. Exactly.
No, she was.
Yep, which causes me to post less and less and less
Ridiculous.
that has to do with anything with my marriage, because I want to keep it sacred.
Private, everything private and sacred. That's it. Because you can't let nobody into your home. Because like once you let people in your house, people start pissed stuff in your ear, whatever. Like yeah, you might. It's just human nature. Sometimes like, all right, what is it true? You start questioning things like that. I'm like, nah, I'm not even gonna feed into that madness. So I just deflect it. Like, and I think I do a hell of a job at it because I know that they're like. Anywhere we go, not to throw any of my people I know under the bus, anything like that though, but like, as far as like marriage-wise, keep everything close and sacred. Don't let nobody in your doors or whatever. Just keep everything between you, me and her, and it'll be fine. Because we try to make it to y'all mark.
Right.
It's tough right now, but we try to make it to y'all mark.
Yeah.
So continuing in that social media conversation, I know Chris, you were definitely want to share a story about you guys.
Yeah. So my wife came to me one day and was like, "Why are you not posting me on social media? Everybody's posting, their significant other on social media, but you're not posting me." And I'm like, "Well, I'm posted up next to you. Why do I gotta? Why should I have?
Oh, I love that.
Why should I have to? Why should
That's
I?
a Facebook.
Like,
Right.
I'm not saying like, again, like I don't. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that
He doesn't post a lot.
I don't really post a lot anyway. So on my social media, if I do anything, I'll probably drop like a nugget, or like a real quick nugget of knowledge or wisdom or something like that I picked up. Or it would be something like extremely funny that'll make people laugh. In terms of like my personal life and things of that nature, I kind of stay off of that. I really don't put or post my stuff on social media at all. So it was kind of
That was a long time ago. He told me well. I don't care about that.
Don't do that. I mean, I love you, and again, we, in terms of letting people, into your marriage and things of that nature, you do got to be careful about who you put. Social media is out there as well too, and then once you have your core group of people that you have that you can share down and literally have people who you can be honest with, and people who are honest with you and telling you like, yo, you were wrong.
Right.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah, if you don't have anybody in your life, you don't have anybody in your life that doesn't tell you they're wrong, then there's something wrong with that relationship.
Right.
Yes.
Because again, if I'm in a relationship with you, I should be able to tell you, listen, I understand where you're coming from, I understand your point of view, but you were wrong. You probably need to go back and apologize. So,
I agree.
So I think it was episode 2. I want to say Denise and Brian. Shout out to Denise and Brian. I know Denise talked about being in a marriage, and she said it's like she wasn't prepared for her husband because it's like someone's holding a mirror up to you sometimes, and it shows you who you really are, and it's allowing yourself to be that vulnerable. But that's one thing. But it's one thing that she credits her husband for as well, because it is a challenge, but it helps her. Her point was that it eventually got her to be a better person. But it is that mirror. So I have 2 questions that I want to get into. So one that's just kind of fun, and then we'll get into another serious question. Who said I love you first?
I don't remember.
He's the romantic lovey-dovey. He helped me be more like that because I'm more tomboyish. So I was never really super affectionate, and he's extremely romantic, lovey. He definitely said it first. That's hands down.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, because he changed me into more of a softer, more loving person. I was really tomboyish, and that's one thing I love about him. He loved me and accepted me just like that, even though I was the complete opposite of who he was. He still accepted me for that person, and he taught me how to love and how to be loving and be affectionate. I still have to work on it to this day just because it's not innate in me. It's not a part of my character or my makeup. So he's still like, babe, sometimes, I want you to hold me. I'm like, you're right, honey, you're right.
But it's true.
Yeah.
That's the communication.
So he definitely said that.
You're about to make me cry. I always talk about the change.
I don't remember.
Well, me and her, because we was a blind date, and me and her just party. Party from Monday through Sunday.
We did party a lot.
We party a lot.
Yeah,
We was
because
everywhere.
You too? No. I've been to your parties. They're
yeah, because I was only 26. I had just turned 26 when we first met each other. We was still
we was still young.
I don't remember.
But I remember though. I think it just happened.
I remember when you asked me to be your girlfriend finally. I do remember that.
I remember that part.
That was at Mad Max.
But that means that I love you was organic then.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that exact.
I just remember.
It was probably. It doesn't mean it was super real.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because I can't remember because like I said, me and her was based trying to have fun.
We just having fun.
And it was like, I'm not gonna lie, it was like a little blur because we were just out this party.
Blurry.
And people like, are you girlfriend, boyfriend? We're like, no, we just have a mutual respect for each other. And that's what we always say.
That's at that time, I guess, because like I said, we didn't want to put a label on it because I was so afraid.
Yeah, right.
Of all right, they're coming with all these different expectations. I didn't want. I said, let's be friends first, and then we respect each other.
I just don't remember when we said, I love you. That's bad.
No, it's
not
to Karen's point. It is.
I
That means
don't
it's
think
already
that's bad at all.
Yeah.
And I only remember it's because I wasn't that personality type.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint the exact, day or time or year, but
Dang.
it's just I know that he was the one that helped me be more like that, more loving. So that's why I can remember. So it's not really a bad thing, That means you guys probably just
The love is
it
there.
was there.
obviously.
Yeah, it was there.
can see it, yes.
Built it.
So, guys, both of you, well, as a couples, you guys do not have children.
No.
So let me ask a question that sometimes can be a little sensitive. So, because again, speaking with other couples who I know don't have children and maybe trying to have kids, and for various reasons, that's just not happening at this moment. Do you find that? Do you find the question sensitive when people ask you? How do you feel about when people say, "Oh, you guys don't have any kids yet?" Question mark. Or you're not working on kids? Like, is that invasive, or do you feel some type of way about it? Like,
I get
tell me.
this. Stay out of my ovaries.
Okay.
Especially as a woman, I think it's very insensitive for a person to ask that, period. Because you don't know if I have friends that actually are having problems conceiving.
You don't know what people's situation
You have no idea. So I just think that's rude to ask, period. And second of all, I do want to have one child. But the reason why we wait is that when we wanted to enjoy our marriage, we didn't want to quickly, bring another human being in there. We wanted to travel. And also we both had goals. Like I had the goal of being a producer. He had a goal of being a chef, and building his business, and with us not having kids, we were able to accomplish. Thank you.
You got it.
That quicker because I didn't have to worry about rushing home to pick up my child or anything like that. Not saying that if I did have a child, I couldn't do it.
Absolutely,
I
you
know I
can
could. But why put myself in that position
Correct.
when there's birth control?
Absolutely.
So here's a perspective. A lot of people, yes, I think you shouldn't really be invasive like that. But a lot of people think that that question affects the woman more than the man. And if I'll just let my husband speak, because that question just doesn't affect a woman. You never know how that affects a man. And it's always the woman. When are you going to, and they have to hear it. They have to watch us get the barrage of questions because most of the time it comes to us.
Of course,
Yes.
of course.
And never really thinking how it affects him. And he is very vocal about how things make him feel. So he helps me to see a lot of things from the male perspective. So I don't know, baby, you want to just elaborate on how people used to really barrage us and touch my stomach and all that weird stuff and didn't really think about him.
Trying to,
Yeah.
just, being in, at times being in church, again, a lot of people felt as though if they, if they laid hands and prayed and things of that nature, that would help, open the womb. And, to your point, you don't know if people are having complications.
Yeah.
And, again, we didn't know that we were having complications. And we found out that was the case. There were some complications. So it kind of touched me because it's just again, I have two grandmothers who passed, and I'm the only one out of my 4 brothers and 2 sisters that doesn't have children. You know what I'm saying? So I come from a very big family, and it's kind of innate in my genes for us to
Yes, procreate.
It's an easier topic for us now. It's not easy, but it's easier because we've heard it all. We've had every question. He's had to carry the burden of watching me have to get the barrage. I've had to carry the burden of him feeling like, man, I should be giving you a child and vice versa. So we've been through it all. So when people say it now, it kind of brushes off. But it's easier.
Okay.
But to me, it's never easy because you have to deal with that. You don't know what a person is.
Yeah, and it's really tough because his family, they actually look down on me.
Some people do.
Because I haven't had a child yet, and they actually treat me like I'm just a girlfriend. Sorry, the crack, I'm about to get upset. They actually treat me like I'm a girlfriend.
and they treat like my sister-in-law and them like so much better because she's giving them grandkids, and that's like, it hurts my feelings. They don't support my shows. I performed on Broadway and no one from his family came. They don't support anything that I do, and all they care about is, when are you going to give me a grandchild?
See, and people.
And it's so hurtful because I've been with him for 8 years, and for y'all to just treat me like I'm just some girlfriend. You know, like it just hurts my feelings, and it gets me to the point that I just don't even want to be around them. And he always talks about how his family, how my family has brought him in, and how he has close relationships with my cousins, with my mom, my dad. My mom and my dad, they'll call him. His family, they didn't even wish me happy birthday. When I got into a car accident last year, they didn't even check up on me. You know what I'm trying to say? So I always tell Jay, you got another family. You were blessed to get another family. I didn't get a new family.
That's a lot.
So I still feel like I always tell them, I don't feel like I'm a steward. I still feel like I'm a Knox.
Wow.
You know, and it's just hurtful. I didn't mean to start crying.
That's real though. That's real.
Conversation.
It hurts my feelings. It really hurts my feelings.
That's hard.
Yeah, and I had like several like conversations with my family members about that. And like it's tough though because it's like a wedge, you know. It's like
Of course. That's my next question. How
they're
do you?
not going anywhere, and like I try to explain to my mom and like my grandma and them because like they that's all they talk about because like my sister she just had a baby, like my younger brother has 2 kids, and like right now it's just me and my twin, like we don't have any kids yet, but he's not married though, so they don't expect that from him yet. But from her, like they said, you know, because like she believes in her dream, and like I support it, and like I said, I never want nothing to stand in her way to get to her goal. So like, I feel as though a kid right now is not in our.
And as long as y'all
here, and the thing is that they don't understand it. And like I told them all the time, I said, look, like y'all hurt her feelings, y'all make her feel because you don't support her because they think that this little acting and producing
It's a hobby. They consider it a hobby.
You know what I mean? Because the thing is that she's so passionate about her goals, and
course.
I'm so passionate about helping her get there.
I know that's
They don't.
right.
They don't see that.
Yes, bro.
And they said, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Like, how come you're not forced?" I'm like, "I can't. I'm not forcing. I never want to force anything on her. Oh, if she don't want to do it, we talk about it. That's it. I don't care what nobody else think about it or what they say about it.
Absolutely.
But it's just tough though, because like it's my family members. You know?
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure that has to be tough because that is your family.
Yeah.
You know, but she is also your family. You know, and then to have the flip side where Kyra's family has really embraced you.
Right.
You know,
They embrace him.
I'm sure that's beyond challenging. You know. But listen, this is Raw Real, so cry, scream, holler.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Get it out though. It's healing when you're able to talk about this.
Exactly. I love it. So, my next question before we wrap up, because I have just a few more. How do you? Because you guys have all talked about being so supportive of each other. You know, in your dreams, and being that you're the biggest cheerleader, which is expected as well. But how do you? Because a lot of times, obviously you hear to become one. One body, all these different things. Kids, all these different things. How do you maintain your individuality within your marriage?
That's deep.
I try. I was researching these questions.
You guys want to start off? Or you want to make over here?
It's weird because we are similar and we think the same things are hilarious. People sometimes don't even see our humor. So I think our individuality connects us. It really actually helped us. He's very laid back. He's non-confrontational. I'm the complete opposite. You will not and you cannot. Under no circumstances will you. My husband be like, hey, just let him, just go ahead and let it. No. So it's because we're so alike, but then we're so different, it's it works.
Right.
Almost, you know, because all the things that make us individuals sharpen each other, and the things that also make us individuals we have in common, if that makes sense. So it just kind of worked.
Yeah. So I know you guys, like, I mean, I see from social media as well, I know you guys travel together quite often. Do you guys travel separately? Like, have you taken, like, vacations, like, I'm gonna take this girl trip and just
We
go?
do. We definitely do and have. I think we should more. My husband is very relational. So relationships are important to him. So he doesn't just, you're my friend, you're my friend, you're my friend. She gets a friend, he gets a friend.
Right.
And so his circle is super small because, you know, he's just, that's his personality. So, you know, just trying to find that time where my girlfriends are available, you know, his friends, and because it's not a lot, you know, but that is something we definitely do, and it's needed.
Right.
It's needed.
You gotta get away.
Yeah.
And when you say that, like, when you talk to, you know, again, because I communicate with both married people and single people. And when you say, hey man, I need to get away. Oh, don't let your girl hear you say that, or don't let your girl hear you say that.
Oh,
And
Right, that's what I'm saying, please.
Because again, they in their mindset, it's like you're saying that you don't want them around, and it's not that I don't want her around. It's I need a break.
Yeah.
Because when you're in relationships, and you know, again, even when you're on the set or you're at work, you're surrounded every day by different personalities, and out of all those different personalities, somebody needs something from you. And if you're in a place of leadership, your job or something like that, you're a manager or something to that nature. You've got at me and my job, I think I have about 20 to 25 people that report to me, and I've got constantly this person wants this person wants that. When I leave and I go home and I get in my car, it's just like, oh my God, finally I got some me time. And then when I go home, it's she wants something from me, and then my dog wants something. And
No, I can relate to that. I'm like, give me a minute,
it's like,
please.
can I get a, and that brought up it used to bring up conflict in the marriage, because it would be like, hey, well, you know, I need to talk to you about this bill they need to get paid. I'm like, yo, I just walked through the door. Can I get like 2 seconds just to
No, that's true.
But going away on vacation, especially, you know,
He goes
with
by himself
people,
too.
and
He's going by
sometimes I'll
himself.
leave and I'll go. I just past week, you know, again, I left and I had an appointment somewhere, and I made sure that I drove there before I got it. You know, she stayed back and stayed home, but it's just a good time for you to relax,
And reconnect with yourself as well, right? Because you talk about going in half empty and expecting this person to fill you up. Like, I think, and again, I'm not married, but I think that even in the marriage, like that, those things can still happen because you become dependent, you know, the person too. So you still have to kind of check yourself and kind of see like, hey, what's going on with me?
Well, that's how, like, kind of piggyback off him a little bit, like, same thing too, like, at my job too, like, I'm a manager at my job, like, a lot of people be talking to me, reporting to me, stuff like that, and then, like, I get home, and then the dog,
Back to this dog.
like, you see, like, my dog brings a lot of attention, though, but, like, he's a puppy right now, so I get it, but then I said, like, same for her, when she comes home, like, I let her wash her shoes, I make sure she's cool. Come on down.
It took
That's the church say.
Come on down. Bring it back. Bring it back.
You talked a lot when I first walked in.
Well, not now. Now I kind of grown accustomed to not doing that. Just giving her time. But like I haven't seen her all day. I can't talk to her at my job because like I'm so busy. She's busy.
Yeah.
And then like I said, like sometimes like you gotta be there to talk to your best friend. Like I said, I can talk to her more about different things than my co-workers at my job. I don't hear about what's going on in their life. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry, you guys be listening. We just being real. The same thing too. Anyway, like I said, like I let her go on trips by herself and stuff like that. And like people, like a lot of guys that I know, like they won't allow their significant other to do that. Which I think, like, come on, that's just it's not an insecurity. You know what I mean? Because I said, like at some point, like you said. You need your alone time. When she's gone, I get to watch all the sports I want and do what I want and eat what I want. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it kind of brings me back to that time, like I guess when I was single, but now I stay in the house, I don't do anything, just watch TV, you know what I mean? But like I said, I think everybody needs that alone time. Like you can't spend every single day together.
Agreed.
It won't work.
Absolutely.
And as far as the individual thing, it was before we got engaged, I was all J. Everything was all J. We were stuck at the hip.
Yeah, I was
And then like when I and then when I got engaged, I'm like, okay, I have a great guy, everything's going good. I'm like, something's missing. And I had quit acting like when I was 19 when my grandfather passed away. I quit because I'm not gonna go into that story. But when he passed away, I quit. And when we got engaged, I decided to get back into acting, just dibble and dabble. And then all of a sudden, I want to be a producer, and I want to do this, I want to do that. And it actually ended up causing a rift with us because when we got married, I was all about Jay. So he had to learn how to
share.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
He had to learn how to share. And I didn't blame him because he would get upset. He would have attitudes at first in the beginning. But I didn't blame him because that's not who he married in the beginning. That's not. He didn't sign up for that, you know, and that's what he told me. And I said, I know. So what I did was to get him comfortable with what I was doing. I said, you're a chef. Why don't you do my craft services on set? So he would come in and then he would. So sometimes now he's part of my world. But that's how.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. Listen, I wish that we could spend much more time together. This is wonderful. So, will you guys come back?
Sure.
Yeah.
I told you there's a 2.0.
Sure.
There's like all that. So here's the last question.
Okay.
To leave the world that's watching. What is your best advice to give those that are getting ready to enter into marriage? Keep it under 1 minute, but tell them your best advice. Your 1 minute advice.
I think this is universal across all relationships, is that there's two things, but the third is the most important. The first thing is communication. Without communication, there's always going to be friction inside of the relationship. I believe if you properly communicate what your expectation is of your mate, I think that begins to start the process of, you guys starting to become one. Because if you don't go over your expectation, you have an expectation in your mind of what you want or how you want your mate to treat you. They also have in their mindset how they believe they should treat you. If you communicate how you should be treated, or you communicate what your expectations is of your mate, then you can focus on that, and then they can focus on it as well too. Without proper communication and expectation, it will put you in a place of frustration. And we've experienced that, for some years in our relationship. And then the worst part that you want is separation. That's a force for you. So communicate what your expectations are to keep you out of being frustrated, to ultimately keep you from being separated.
Awesome. So Karen, you was going to share with us your 1 minute advice for those entering into marriage.
Yes, and my biggest advice is love yourself, know yourself. Keep as much and get as much baggage off of you before you enter into marriage, because you will have to carry some things for your husband and vice versa. Because when you become one, there's times where when he's heavy or she's heavy, you have to carry. So you want to come to in the marriage as light as possible. Learn yourself, know yourself. Like Bro said, there's nothing wrong with therapy. Go in, make sure you get it out, you talk, you figure out what happened in your childhood. All of those things are very, very important to not bring those negative things into your marriage, because you will have to carry each other at times. And you want to make sure that you're able to do so and successfully and healthy, in a healthy way.
Awesome, I love it. Thank you. All right, Jay, you're speaking for you guys.
Okay. My advice is to be friends. Be friends. Lust is great.
Come on, that's a no. Let's be adult about it. Come on.
But sometimes lust can, it comes and goes,
Absolutely. That's-
but that friendship is what stays.
Absolutely.
And support each other.
Yes.
Support is on the top of my list because you never want your mate to try to find support from someone else.
Amen. Say it again. Amen.
You never want your mate to try to find support from someone
She
else.
said it.
That's right.
So support and be friends.
Well,
Oh, you
to
want-
the people of the world and around the world,
Come on, speak to the world, Soulshine, global. This is the global.
always walk side by side. Don't ever let your mate walk behind you or in front of you, side by side.
Amen.
Date each other, love each other, and always, I always tell my wife every morning, good morning.
Yes, you do.
Always say good morning to her. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's the best thing to start off with is like to talk to each other. And the first person that I want to talk to is her. And like make sure, I guess, like with when you're married, just be honest with each other, like laugh with each other. Like laughter to me personally is the most best thing ever. Just laughter.
Yeah.
Laughter keeps you going through the tough times, through anything, I guess. And on that note, I don't know what to say though, but just take what we say for what it is, because like I said, like we're here and like pray.
Pray.
That's
Yes.
prayer is like a very good thing. And like it took me a long time to learn that, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning. Okay.
It works.
So that's all. Soulshine, you can
Thank you. I try. So, guys, again, I want to please invite you to come back. I hope you will come back and see us again. And again, I have more questions. So it definitely has a 2.0. Have to be a 2.0. And I think once the video hits the YouTube world, people will definitely have questions. I thank you guys so much for taking time out to come and sit with me and have a Soulshine conversation. This was amazing. I can't wait to watch it, to see it, so I can take my own notes as well. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It is the button on the
hit that like button.
Hit it, subscribe. Yes,
Hit
do
that
it.
like button.
It keeps you about all the Soulshine
Hit that
It
information.
don't cost you nothing.
It does nothing.
Just hit the like button.
But my love, you'll get all my love. So thank you guys so much. And remember, love is easy. So let your soul shine.
Let your soul shine.
Let your soul shine.
We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
All right.
That was good.
Yeah.